What's good, everyone, and welcome to a beautiful Easter Monday. I am filming this one a little bit late than I wanted to, but today we are just going to review the game that was on the weekend, Saturday, 3:45 p.m. Adelaide time, Richmond versus Port Adelaide at the MCG. And might I just say, this is the worst 40-point win I have ever laid my eyes on. This was chopsticks in the eyes sort of affairs on this one. Sat through the whole entire thing. Skills were awful the whole entire day. Richmond were just. I watching Port. I was like, they've played worse than what they did last week against West Coast, but Richmond are just so much worse. Like skill errors and out of bounds in the full, and it was just definitely not a game to watch if you are a fan of football in general and want to just watch a game of footy. I would be twitching that off at quarter time after Port kicked 1-6 to Richmond's 1 point. Yeah, as soon as it started like that, you know it was going to be a slog. But at the end of the day, Port Adelaide came up on top, 48-90. All that matters is you get the 4 points, and all you can do is build on that confidence that you have got to win going into Gather Round this week, which is going to be a really big challenge, probably the biggest that Port has faced this year. I think this game coming up is going to decide if we are, going back to the drawing board. This is rebuild time, or we might still have something here. Let's build upon what we've got going, and then make a push at the end of the year, maybe for a wild card or something like that. But yeah, 48-90, 6 goals 12 is crazy for Richmond. They were so inaccurate. Didn't make Port pay when they had silly turnovers, to 13 goals 12. So yeah, 4 points. Some highlights from the game was a Maurice Rioli mark that wasn't a mark. It was touched by Lafau and came off hands to Rioli, and they called it a mark for whatever reason, probably just because umps let that stuff go because it's a spectacle at the end of the day. But there is a few plays I would like to highlight throughout the day as well. Highlights port wise was not a lot of highlights. Going on to the statistics, it really is clear of who is a great play, who played well and who was very poor on the day. So Sweet dominated in the ruck against Samson Ryan. He's probably the worst ruck I have seen in recent times. Samson Ryan, undisciplined, slow, can't mark, and he's probably going to get games for his gut punch on Sweet as well now. I think he got a game, which is just crazy. I think if you've got the opportunity available to you, Nate Curvis is out. Why are you going around hitting blokes? It just doesn't make sense to me, but don't really care, to be honest, because it's not my team. So I'm sorry, Richmond fans, that you have to deal with that. But yeah, Sweet was dominant in the ruck. He was getting a lot of hit outs, but it wasn't to advantage most of the time. A lot of the time, the Tigers were still getting the clearances, even though Sweet was dominating the hit outs themselves. So midfield is something that's really struggled so far in the season, and I'm not sure why. Alir literally saved us the game. A few little tucks, like pushing the backs, that I'm not a fan of, but he's really good at disguising it in a way of guiding them under the bowl. But yeah, without Ilia, we probably would have been much closer than what we were. He just floats in. Ilia is best when he isn't playing one-on-one, when he can have a little bit of availability to jump at it. So filling the hole is what I love, Aaliyah. I wish that Marshall was back. Hopefully he's back next week so he can take another spot in that defense, so Aaliyah can then go free a little bit more, so he can play as well as he did on the weekend. Farrell, he had a bit of an issue, got like a rolled ankle with a ball kicked into it at the same time, which looked pretty bad. Yeah, but they were looking to play everything through Farrell from the back line. And with good reason. Without Farrell, we probably also cooked because, there's no distributor down back that I have confidence in. Darcy Byrne-Jones got a few of it, but his skill level is not great compared to Farrell. So that distributing big left foot that Kane has, and Darcy Byrne-Jones is fine, but I don't like him in that halfback role at all. The score is okay, but yeah, I think he is a forward pressurer from now, and I think we found that. So we've had no options, so that's why we had to put Burn Jones back there. So Yeah, he was fine. Probably his better games from recent times. I thought Burn Jones, it might actually have played him into a little bit of form because I thought that he might need to actually have a spell in the twos for a bit. Butters, that yin yang symbol basically means that he was a tale of two halves. He was very quiet in the first half, and then he finally got going in the second half. Just his run with the ball is so important. No matter, that's more than anything that's important. Is yeah, he's just his breaking packs, running through the lines makes things so much easier. Going down the list, Richards had a great game. His pressure was good. Whitlock is such a big option up forward. Him and Georgiades. I'm so proud of Whitlock, to be honest, because I saw the vision late last year anyway. I wanted them to give him a shot late when we didn't have much chance. I said, just give Whitlock a shot because he's big. He's the type of player that can just, yeah. I have to. I don't want to pump up my own tires, but I really called it on Whitlock, and I think he's going to be, yeah, a future player for us. Horn Francis was great late, crashing packs. Yeah, he got a little bit corralled towards the end of the game by I think it was Grill and turned it over. I think in that stage you just need to blaze away, go for goal. But he was okay. I think they need to potentially rotate him in the midfield a little bit more than what they are at this stage. He's playing very much like full forward-ish, which is good for the forward line, but like the midfield is actually struggling at the moment. I think Horn Francis could be the difference there, and he can put up some big scores. So super coach wise, even though that's not what I'm talking about, like I don't really care. But he could put up some massive scores if he's allowed that opportunity in that midfield. Georgiades was fine. Lukosius was also fine. Really stuck in late. Going down the list, Willem Drew had a shocker by his standards. Ollie Wines was used as like a phantom sub, so he took over that Will Brody role, and I don't think that's the play. Just play Wines for the full game. Joe Barry is quite actually disappointing. His pressure is he can have a good left foot, but he crumbles under pressure a lot. It's hard. Zato first game didn't do a whole lot. I don't think he holds the spot, to be honest, with only the three touches, and one of those touches was uh, in the forward pocket, getting tackled, trying to do a little bit too much. So yeah, probably goes back into the twos for a bit. McKinlay and Watkins, absolute shockers to both of them. I think the bottom three down there probably looking at potentially going into the twos. If we've got available options, if Marshall comes back, potentially that's for McKinlay. Zato, I'm not sure. We don't have a lot of stock options, so maybe they, give him a shot another week against St Kilda, but not a lot of standouts towards the bottom of the list. Just few bigger players like Aaliyah, Farrell, and maybe Sweet, even though his matchup was pretty easy for him. Aaliyah playing 100% time on ground is cramping. He was the man of the match easily for this one. But yeah, it's nothing that if it was this game, I'm going to go back and watch the replay of. There was no highlights for me. It was definitely a slog to get through the whole thing, and the score line was actually, not indicative of Port's performance, I don't think. I think it's just Richmond was so bad that they allowed Port to get that big of a score. I don't think there's anything we can take away from this. We can't see that we are a bit better. There's nothing we can take away from this game at all. We are not up to the rate of the big sides just by watching that performance. It's going to be a long year, that's for sure. It was just so frustrating. Lots of skill errors and turnovers and decision making. It was just, what can you do? A lot of them are young and a lot of them are still learning. So we can just hope and pray that they develop. So in the future we're in a better position, because now it's going to be a long year, and hopefully coming years will not be as long as what this one's going to be. But I'm thinking, this is definitely bottom six team side at the moment. And think we might have to see that this get around against St Kilda. I think St Kilda, even though they're a mid-side as well, they're not anything lighting on fire. They're coming off a week's break with their bye. They're going to be fresh. Yeah, it's going to be probably a slogging, but it is what it is. We buckle up. We are Port fans, and this is the role, the cycle. We missed the opportunity a couple of years ago, and now you go back into the slogs again. So not a lot to take away. I want to keep it positive, so at least we did get the 4 points. Buckle up, soldiers. All right, thanks for watching, Port fans. Peace out.